Old rivalries die hard, and back in my day the school playground was a sea of violence. Armies on both ends flying flags for either PlayStation or N64. For every PlayStation exclusive there was nothing really to match Mario 64's 3D revolution, Ocarina's sheer perfection, GoldenEye's first-person masterclass, or all the incredible multiplayer games. But despite having a million amazing racing games, the N64 didn't really have an answer to Gran Turismo. World Driver Championship here comes close, and I've been meaning to play it for years to find out just how close. You need to forgive me though, you might see some exceedingly shoddy gameplay footage. That's because I'm pretty sure that my N64 is in its last legs, its composite signal is ropey as fuck, and my SD capture method isn't exactly brilliant. So, if you see shite footage, that's me playing, and if you see clean footage, that's stuff that I've nicked off of YouTube. Right, the absolute first thing you have to do in World Driver Championship is turn down the music, because it's shite. The second thing you have to do is look at the thing, it's gorgeous. A lot of late N64 releases were pushing the system, but this is a real technical showcase. There's none of that fog that folk like to slag off the N64 for, and the frame rate is pretty much solid. The car models are some of the best of the era too. It's just a shame they're fictional, eh? Can it even really be called a sim if it's all make-believe cars and tracks? Well, I think so. I think there's something to be said for a simulation game being more of a convincing stab at realism than a one-to-one recreation of it. Besides, some of these cars are straight up rip-offs of real models. Here's me in a not 911, and here's a not GTR racing about. All the cars have a convincing sense of weight transfer, realistic acceleration and braking, and the right level of grip that means you can't just hair around every corner like you're playing an arcade game. In true Gran Turismo style, you'll be tearing around in some right bangers before you unlock the faster, grippier cars too. Unlike Gran Turismo though, it's not about earning money, but about increasing your standing as a driver and having a relationship with teams. There's a bit of a Ridge Racer Type 4 quality to having each team headed by a wee guy that will cheer you on or commiserate with you after the race. I genuinely felt bad that my terrible performance on the track was met by an apology from the team director, and I promised that he'll work the engineers harder back at HQ. I better not show my face around the garage for a while, eh? The real showstopper here is the frame rate. You can be driving along in a pack of 8 cars all jostling for position and you'll barely feel a drop in frames. If you're watching this and shrugging your shoulders after playing F1 2021 in 60 frames per second with a grid of 20 cars, remember, this is the N64 we're talking about. This is like real miracle stuff. Less of a showstopper and more of a cool thing that I like that you might not is the high-res letterbox mode. Here the screen has massive borders on it, but the actual game is rendered at a higher resolution. I prefer it, but it's not to everyone's tastes. Career mode takes an absolute age to get through, but that's actually a welcome thing in the N64. The console's best racing games are excellent to drop in and out of, but World Driver Championship is a great time investment, and the deep handling model is a great reward for a game that emulates the grind of Gran Turismo's one-player mode. Is it as good as Gran Turismo? No, but it is close, and it's enough to have me still somewhat sure when I say I was right to ask my mum and dad for an N64 all those years ago.